Hello and welcome to The Regulars. I'm Stacey McGonigal.
Hi, I'm Jason DeRoss.
Fuck, Marie!
We
All
are
right,
here.
every day we add one sound effect. Woo.
Every day we're going to add. So welcome. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everybody. We have made it halfway through this damn week.
Yeah, I was like halfway through the pandemic. I'm like, nah, I don't think so.
Never ending. Always here. Always the same. In our homes. Never changing. Never different.
Today's the 3rd, so tomorrow we're officially 1 week away from the year anniversary. Not of the podcast, but of the day that everything kind of went, hey, everybody, this might be something. Shut down.
You know what's interesting? First of all, I want to acknowledge everyone in the chat. We have some, as Elizabeth says, we've got some soft boiled egg status today. We got some soft weeks coming in. We hear you, we feel them, and let's, kick it in the nuts and get it out of here.
Yeah.
But what I think is interesting is, yes, the year is coming up. And I don't know if you've noticed this among your friends or colleagues, whatever.
But everybody's fucking insane.
Yes. Also, everyone's deadline seems a little different, right? Like everyone's like, well, the government shut down this day on March. And everyone's like, of course. And so that would mean, so Jeff, gave it a couple of days. Okay. Like some people were not, like when it was, have you noticed that?
I thought you meant differently because yesterday, I think it was yesterday that Texas was like, we're back, baby. Everything's finished. We're good. Or there's other places that are like, because it is different depending on where you're at. In Canada, You guys had a bit of a summer. Like there was times when people were like, well, patios are okay. And things opened up. So it depends on where you are and how much you've been shut down. But
it does.
We've been shut down for the year. It has.
First of all, the audacity of Texas is out of control. It's unreal. It's like everyone's leaving at the party and Texas is pouring another drink. And it's like, Texas, you don't live here. Okay. We have kids.
The problem is for the most part, I think this is going to be something that I shouldn't say out loud, but it's like when that kid that bullies throughout the high school or even elementary school. And you're like, well, he'll get his one day. And then he doesn't. You're like, fuck, maybe I should have just been a bully my whole life. But it's like, Texas is literally going to be like, hopefully everyone's vaccinated by May is what this administration's saying now.
Sure.
They're going to come out on the other side. They're going to be like, well, we were only affected really by the rest of you, except we opened up. We're Texas, baby. Let's go. Whoa. We had a good time.
I know.
Fuck, Marie.
It is kind of crazy that Texas is just like, whatever. And stand-up comedians are going there to do shows. It's just like, it's like when you have that friend and you're like, Michelle, can you help with the dishes? And Michelle goes, no. And you go, no, Michelle, everyone's doing dishes. And she goes, I'm not doing it. I don't care. Also, I'm just not doing it.
I love where people's worlds are at. Our world is like, well, the stand-up comics are going there, so I guess the world's open back up.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Texas is like, we're open, right? And everyone's like, this is ridiculous. But what is crazy to me is just seeing people carry on like, well, Texas is, you can do that now, so we're gonna go. It's like
Texas be Texas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Elizabeth just said this. Texas is being very Texas about the whole thing, and it is sort of wild because, I mean, it goes without saying, it's just wild that the government for a very long time, and we'll lean into maybe the Republican Party because I'd like to, and it's true, but they're just like, we're going to tell you what women can and cannot do with their bodies, but then the government goes, hey, everybody. You need to wear a mask. And then men are like, to hell I do. And to hell I do. Open up, Texas. Open up,
It's hilarious because you see on the right side as well where they used that off the top of that was the hypocritical thing of the left. And I was like, are you
anything new or fresh? It's just
wild.
But
I mean, they were saying that was the hypocritical thing apart the left. It's like, oh, you don't want us to control your bodies, yet you can wear a mask. It's like, bringing we don't need to get into this, but there's a huge difference in this at the same time. It's It's nuts that those
Women
are
still don't have the right to choose, but men can choose a mask. And for that, I say no, thank you, sir. And Michelle, go do the dishes. I can't. Texas, please.
just
Texas,
put on your face condom.
please.
You know?
Put on your face condom. Okay?
Yeah.
Just cover up your mouth. Just do it. I can't. I just don't get it. But it's just like, it is just unreal. As someone who is like, I love a rule. I love complaining about a rule, but I'm still going to do. You love to break rules. Yeah. I love complaining and going, yeah, you should do that. And then I'm absolutely not going to do that. But anyways, this is also a really big day for me personally because something came in the mail and I was going to wear it for the show, but then I was like, I'm not. What?
I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. So you're tell
thinking
me.
It's my period cup?
No.
Okay, cool. It's not that. It's still in transit.
I was thinking you were talking about the thing we were talking about just before we got on the podcast. I'm like, I don't know how you'd wear that, but like staple some. Here you go. Anyways.
What was I just talking about before the podcast? My memory's so bad.
You became official today. I became official today. Okay, we had a good conversation. This is how much Stacey remembers our conversations.
No, because I was frantic because I was setting everything up. I became official today. Just what is it? Can I say?
No, I don't want to say it out loud.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Is there a private chat?
Yeah, just private chat it to me because I'm like, what? No. So yesterday, a package came in the mail and I was like, for me, and I opened it. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I got my Peloton Century Ride t-shirt, which is like you've done over 100 rides.
Whoa.
But what happened was my previous classes were deleted by, maybe a nephew was on the Peloton back in the day and I said, I have some fun. And he erased all but what I didn't care. I was like, who cares? But anyways.
But you kind of do.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
I mean, you don't care, but you kind of go like, fuck, I mean, I did all that work. No one will ever see it except yourself. Because I'm doing the same thing with like calorie counting apps and everything else. And you're like, if that got erased, I'd be like, nobody else in the world is seeing this. But I'd still be like,
yeah.
God damn it. That one day when I get on some sort of like show and they're like, hey, Jason, why don't you tell us about how good you were with the calorie counter? I go, look at this world, which is never going to happen. But.
I know, but I know exactly how you feel because on the Peloton, you can have friends add you. And I feel like when they add me, I have to explain, like, I've had this bike for a really long time, but I want you to know that a ton of classes were I should have substantial classes. But
nobody's looking at your history. Nobody's looking at that.
I'm not looking at theirs, and there's no way they're looking at mine. Now, here's the thing. I'm in a little Peloton crew. We just did a morning workout this morning. Like, I've really held accountable. I can say that a pair of jeans that did not fit, I'm wearing them today. They are back on the body.
Hello.
I'm feeling great. But anyways, in the mail came
my ass is going to rip out by noon. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to pop this ass full out. People want to see this mug, Jay.
It's been on the show before.
They want to see the other side.
Oh, I see. Here's the other side of the mug. It was a gift for me, which was so nice. That's my Funko Pop.
The Funko Pops. Yeah. You can watch this if you haven't yet. YouTube.com/theregulars. What are you doing? Get on over here and see some. But anyways, the shirt came in and I was like, wow, my 100th shirt. And then I opened up the bag and it is
small.
Very small. I ordered a medium, thinking it was unisex. Okay, quite small. I was gonna wear it today because it fits, but what an ugly shirt. What a it just is a. I was gonna wear it, but I look like an employee. It's just black. It's just black. The back is black too. Just says Peloton.
Yeah, this is my Peloton shirt right here.
Honestly, that's more dynamic than the shirt that I was given. Okay. And usually when I wear t-shirts, I'll like roll up the sleeves or whatever, and it covers up that it says Century. Anyways, whatever. That's not a cool story, but it's just so funny when you're like, if you work really hard, you get this free thing. And then you get the free thing and you're like, my life's a joke. This is a joke.
On the flip side of that coin, people have been getting our postcards. People that were like, joined up for the Patreon. Sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we could talk about this.
It has been lighting up my life because I had to mail them. And I'm not going to lie to you. I said a little wish before I sent them. I was like, please get to everyone. Please.
Well, the postal service is just terrible right now. So like, thank God,
But yeah, anyways, it is it's so nice to see everyone getting them and like, we hope that you enjoy them and you make a little tepid Todd. We have a little drink recipe on the back. So enjoy. And thank you for joining the Patreon. It's been growing and it's really exciting. We got some fun stuff planned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. And maybe we'll have a tepid Todd night. We'll get everybody to make tepid Todds for the next thing we do or something. Maybe that's something we can do.
Oh, I feel like for our year, like it has to be such a barn burner that we like forget our names.
Our year is like a week and a bit away. It's not far. It's not far at all. But we'll you know what? We'll do something big, but we just won't necessarily be on the exact year. How about that?
Now, I'm wondering how you and I are with anniversaries.
I think I'm okay with it. You're talking about obviously like the romantic relationship anniversaries.
Like, because you and I are now tasked to celebrate our anniversary.
Yeah.
So you and I have to plan an anniversary. And I think you and I both overthink it. Can't wait for it to be done. And
we're all or nothing people. So it's like, sure, it can't wait for it to be done. But it's because it's like, I could just do a bare minimum and be like, well, if you just make a checklist and check off 3 things and go, great, well, there's an anniversary and it's done. But like, we're always like, it's got to be the best. So if it's not the best, why are like, I have a hard time putting my mind into it.
Exactly. Now I want to say for us, no gifts.
Oh no, I don't think anybody was thinking gifts though. Let's get that out of here.
I just meant for between you and I, like maybe you would have sent me a nice card or
maybe not
written me something nice. I mean, you said you were going to get me a robe, like that still hasn't.
The robe. I did have a robe for you, but then when you said I was going to get it, it happened twice. The second time I brought it up because by the time you said it the second time, I remember
you saying, "Just get me a robe." I remember you saying, like, I kept saying to you, "Just send me a robe."
Yes. So I can tell you the whole story now if you'd like. But I had something done up, but it takes some time to get it done. So by the first time you brought it up, I still had time and I was like, great, this is going to happen. But then you brought it up and I was like, okay, I won't get her a robe. I'll do something else.
We can talk logistics after the pod. Maybe you and I can set something up.
Yeah. Because the second time you said it, I was like, oh, well, I can't do that anymore. But I said it out loud and you're like, you can still do it. But I'm like, I really can't because it would have taken longer to get to you than I had time
I see what you're saying. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, but we have to plan this anniversary and it's going to be a lot. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, the other thing is I don't want it to go away. Do you watch John Oliver?
I do. I haven't watched the recent. No. What?
Well, I'm only saying that because we were mentioning Pelotons this week. You know how it's like, and now this week is some lady that on a news anchor woman that just loves Peloton and she keeps bringing it up. And I almost recorded it and sent it to you, but I'm like, I'll just bring it up on the podcast because
I don't think I bring it up a lot, do I?
You don't, but when you watch this clip, it'll be all that more funny if you're like, because it's like it's literally a Fox News host just being like, in my Peloton, I love my Peloton, and it's literally just telling everybody she loves her Peloton 100 times.
Now I will say, like in this Peloton crew that I have, we get into it, right? We do a lot of, we have certain favorites, and there's one guy I kind of wish you had a Peloton because I feel like. First of all, I think you'd love it, and I think you would really get into like the camaraderie.
Mm-hmm. I believe it. Like, trust me, when I had someone when I first started Lose It like 7 years back, I had like 2 people jump on with me, and I was like, "This is great. I love it. I love it."
But yeah, this morning during my ride, I do this one ride called a Club Bangers, and it's with one of my favorite instructors, Alex Toussaint, and the whole ride it's like a metaphor while you're at the club. So he's like, we haven't even left our house yet. And you know what? I was loving it. And then I was like, I'm so lame. We have some solid content in the chat. This is like a special day. And she was trying to pump the Peloton stock, Peter, and it is me. I am that woman on Fox News.
She literally owns Peloton.
Speaking of,
Jen also brought up is the SNL Peloton sketch was
Peloton.
also terrific. I don't know if that's the one I'm thinking of. Did you see the one this week with the mirror?
I haven't been watching.
Watch the mirror this week.
Okay. I'm happy to. I'm happy to.
It's probably not the sketch that Jan is talking about but it still involves like, those mirrors now that apparently are come out and it's like you could just follow them perfectly.
First of all, can we talk about the mirror? Because I want one.
Yeah, sure. Because I've only heard them preferably. What's the word I'm looking for? Tangentially. I've never seen them. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what they are, except I've just heard little bits about them.
The mirror is the new thing, right? So the mirror is like you put it on your wall and it's just kind of like weights and more like HIIT or CrossFit kind of workouts or whatever.
That's right.
But what they have is an attachment to the mirror that gives you like all the weights, all the resistance bands, like the barbell and everything. And it looks amazing. And there's a camera on it. So if you have bad form, it will correct your form.
You know that way back in the day, like Xbox tried to do something like this with their Xbox thing. Because I was like, oh, cool. But it was like, I don't think the technology was fully there yet. I don't think because but there was exercise things. I'm just saying I did that one. So I kind of get what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it looks amazing. A girl, it was recommended to me on YouTube by like this one girl did a review on it. And then I was obsessed.
Sick.
It looks really cool, I have to say.
Well, the SNL sketch is pretty funny too, because it gets like the two first trainers obviously are like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and I'm Cindy, and I'm gonna do cardio, and then it's it quickly evolves into a character just being like, I'm trapped in the mirror, and it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Classic. I'm in front of the mirror now. I'm stuck in the mirror. The denouement.
No,
we're
you'll
both
see.
in the mirror.
It's hilarious.
Well, I definitely want to check it out. I mean, I honestly wish I had the space for a gym. Like I am not, and again, I am not a workout aficionado, never claimed to be, but I really want the mirror. If I had tons of money, which I don't.
Watch Kate McKinnon stuck in a mirror. You're great. It'll be great.
Oh my God, Kate McKinnon has a career that I so badly want, where it's just like she shows up and that's enough. She really has to do not much.
She's great
anymore, and we are all in love with her.
Yeah. I think she does a lot. I love it. I'm in. Everybody's in on Kate McKinnon though.
So Peter says, I swear I'm not criticizing, but Jason's cam has a little bounce to it. Has this been explained already?
No.
Do you want to explain, Jason, what's going on?
My legs are shaking.
So if you want to go behind the drapes, which again, if you really want to go behind the drapes, join our Peloton.
My energy is just built. Like I have energy and people can't see it because like it's from my waist down. It's just, I've got energy just blowing out of me, but the top half is like, I'm just living my day. How's it going? And then my bottom half is going crazy. You're a duck.
But if you want to go behind the drapes, you should really join our Patreon.
Below the water is everything's going on below the water, guys.
Going on. Because we will go into the logistics. Jason, just do your bit. No, do your bit.
No, I was perv with a hot tub. Come on over because it seems like it's chill, but everything's happening below the water.
Hey, are you into perverts? You should go to Jason's house. Yeah, the hot tub.
Come on over.
He won't stop talking about how there's a lot of stuff going on under the water. Yeah, we all try to move on with conversation, but he wants you to know.
My hot tub's called the Duck.
Your what?
My hot tub's called the Duck.
Ew.
Did I say hot tub?
If someone named their hot tub, I could not proceed. Hey, you guys want to get into the Duck? Lorraine, Marshall, Kev, get into the Duck?
You guys want to get into the party crock pot? Let's go.
The party crock pot. You guys want to make some soup?
Let it simmer. Party's going to get hot, baby.
Slow and low. That's why I like my ribs and my hot tub. Hot tubs are so gross. Like hot tub, I waver with them a lot because
the thought of it is like there's a romantic party side to it, but then there's also the reality of like the germs and things that are this literally dead skin floating around hot water, and you're like, this is kind of disgusting.
I mean, okay, so let's get into it. So a romantic hot tub is hilarious, right? Because okay, so you want to look nice going in. So
sure.
You see And I've been guilty of this once or twice or thrice. You try and do
Yeah.
your hair, maybe you got some mascara on or
We
something.
have different setups for hot tub, but yeah.
No, I'm saying there's options, right? So I've gone in with friends. It's like
No, I get
whatever,
you.
having a good time. But then you want to be romantic. So it's like you and your partner in a hot tub. So like you get in and then you're instantly sweating. So any preparation you've done to your face or your hair is destroyed. So then you're like, hey, and then you're just like cleaning your eyes. And then someone will go to you, you look nuts. Your makeup's everywhere. Or they say nothing, and you think you've been so sexy in the hot tub.
And you
then
just got
get
mascara coming down like you're crying on The Bachelor.
That has happened to me where we went back to the hotel room and I looked at my face and I was like, so when were you going to tell me I was the freaking crow?
Also, though, I could see this happening with Stacey. So you and your man go back to the hot tub.
First of all, thank you for calling him my man.
Your man, he's got a beard. He's or some below deck. But you go back to the hotel room and he's thinking, oh my God, this has been perfect. We are going to have sex.
Yeah.
And then Stacey comes out of the bathroom. So Brandon Lee, were you going to tell me about this?
He was shot. You know that, right?
And guess what else is shot tonight? This night. It's dead. Go to bed.
Go to bed. Go. Telling someone to go to bed. You can go to bed.
I'm going downstairs to the bar.
Yeah, I'm staying up.
You're staying here.
No, I'm going to stay in this room, but you're going to go to bed and you're going to listen to me have a good time.
Do you know what my prep for the hot tub is? Get in first and fast before anybody else is and make sure the jets are on to hide your body. And then I'm ready to have a good time.
Okay, well, you need to stop that because you just need to share your body is what you need to do. And Jan is correct. She says the hot tub in cold weather is chef's kiss. It really is the most ideal time. I mean, what I would give to go to like a cabin right now in the winter with an outdoor hot tub.
Yeah. The idea of that is so great. And like, you know why too? It's because normally it's like you can just see the steam coming off the water.
It's
and
awesome.
Yeah, but also you don't get those chill times when you look down and you see like the little skin flakes floating around and because you just don't get to that point, hopefully.
Yeah, and that's what's really gross. I think, I mean, yeah, I'd like to think that maybe I would have a hot tub in my life, but only from people who have owned them. They've all said they are money pits and just so not worth it.
They're not worth it.
And they're pretty gross. The second the jets go off and someone goes, well, better turn the jets on, there is that second or two where you're like, we're disgusting. And this is a crock pot.
Double-edged sword again. The time that you do want them is like, great, we've got this. Claire even put it there. I was going to say Airbnb or something when you're like on a vacation, they're outside in the snow or something. Like say you go on you go to one of these like ski resorts or something. Like we got a hot tub, but a private one, not one by the public pool.
A private one,
not the ones that are just out and everybody's in them. And you're just like, why are these people?
We're not like you, Joan and Mike. We want private hot tubs, not this public filth.
I'm just thinking of the perfect scenario, one that I'm never going to be able to afford and never will actually do, but like just this perfect scenario of like, great.
Barbara's upset. Who are these people that just have skin flaking off? Tons. Your friends are
whatever
gross.
dirt it is you see that comes out, because like if you like, hot tubs are dirty, they're disgusting, they're gross. But like, and you know, the other problem is if you're in Airbnb, you know, they're not cleaning the hot tub between every use. Like that's impossible. So it's a double-edged sword. You love it, but you hate it.
I think the moment when the jets stop on a hot tub, it's the same disgusting feeling as when you go to a party and someone has like dirty white tube socks, like in the winter, too thick, a bit wet. And you're like, oh my God, Jeff. Ew.
Oh, I love your hardwood floors. Are those footprints? Wet footprints? They just lead to John. John, your socks are wet mops. He's already chowing down on the friggin' all-dressed chips.
Yeah, of course. If you want to know where your all-dressed chips went, look at the person with the grossest socks.
Stop dipping the all-dressed chips in the veggie dip. Now the veggie dip has powder all in it because of you,
That's
man.
way too many flavors, John.
I'm just making fun of myself now because I'll do that for sure. Oh, a tzatziki for the cucumbers? What about my chip? That tastes pretty good in there. No problem.
Yeah, I think Jason's pretty sad. He's dipping everything in the veggie dip.
Salt and vinegar with tzatziki.
Ew, I can't with that. I cannot
I'll do
with
it.
that. No, I hate salt and vinegar. It's so gross.
It's the best.
This is the best. Jen just goes, I'm having lunch, and now I am no longer having lunch. I will say I have had some people reach out to me still and say that they have watched In and of Itself.
Of course.
And people are watching it. And again, we're going to talk about it on Friday.
Yes, I'm going to watch it again.
Sammy's has watched it.
Yep.
So, but again, treat yourself to that.
Yeah, I can't say enough about it.
Yeah.
But we'll say about it everything about it on Friday. But yeah, I love it. I love it.
So, what is going on with you? I have some pop culture stories I wanted to bring up, but I feel like, sometimes we need to check in with Jay because you're stuck in your apartment in quarantine. So how's it going?
I'm not totally stuck. So yesterday, you're going to hate this, but
oh God, you went to the fucking zoo again?
You got it.
Do you guys just have a lifetime membership to the zoo?
That's exactly it. What happened is we got a pass last February, the end of February, we got a pass, and then the pandemic hit, so they shut the zoo down or whatever. So now they've booked. They just opened it up for reservation spots. So you have to. So no one's there. It's like when we went first thing in the morning, and it's empty.
I just don't know why you all love the zoo so much.
See, look at how empty it is. We're just walking around the zoo having a good time.
For me, the zoo ain't where it's popping off for me. Even
of course
as a
not.
kid,
But there's nothing else to do right now with a 5-year-old child.
I'm not
so it's
judging it. I'm not judging. I'm just saying for me. And no, thank you. Even as a kid, I was like, "This stinks." This
I know. It's terrible. The animals are just like, "What the fuck is going on?" But
exactly.
we only did because we had to book for his birthday, and then you have to
When's
because
his
it's
birthday?
reservations. Yep, it happened. It was we did it.
Right. I was just
we did it already.
Yeah.
Yes, but when we did that, it was you can also book spots. It opens up for a block, and it's here the next month, and in the first 2 minutes, all those are gone. So when my wife booked his spot for his birthday, she got on right at the very minute, old concert tickets, and also booked one for a future date, which was yesterday. So that's it. That's all we're gonna go to the zoo.
You went to the zoo. Do you guys have a good time? Were the lions crying? Were the monkeys
Lions aren't
wailing?
there. They're gone.
Yeah.
We don't even know where they are.
Good. I hope free. I hope in some sort of sanctuary or back in the wild.
When you said I hope free, yeah, they're just. Well, I don't want to get into the whole zoo debate because I'm on the losing end of this. My problem is what is the other side? Because if you look at a map of the world and then you see what glows up at night, it's humans have populated 90% of the livable area on the earth.
Agreed.
So what do we do with those animals? So what do we do? That's why, my big problem. This world is overpopulated, and I will fight to that.
So just a little, for people to have context, every time you work with Jason creatively, every time at Second City, we were writing a show, or Jason and I decided to write our own show. The thing he always wanted to talk about was overpopulation. And then you had a son, and then that seemed to go away, that theme, after you had your lovely son. No. You're part of the problem. When he was born, did you lift him up and go?
We became two people, became one. So we're still declining the population numbers.
Oh, that's gross. That's actually so gross.
We also didn't do that by choice. We didn't be we're only having one.
That is so gross. I know how babies are made, and I don't need you saying to become one. That's
to become
so
one, yeah.
Gross.
I know it's that I meant it in a different sense, not in the Dirty Dancing soundtrack sense, but
we all know how the baby was created.
That's not what I meant. Gross. I meant that there was two people, and now when we die, there will be one person. That's what I meant.
Okay. Well, I don't think anyone else got that.
But it's coming in. It's true. I know that for Second City, I did. There was 4 things where I was I had this premise that I was I was under the belief in 2011 to 2013 when we were writing stuff that I was look, man, there's so many world problems that would be and sure, is there an easy solution? No, because are you going to be what China did with like, great, there's going to be rules on like the thing, but I'm like, there's incentives to like have a smaller population possibly.
Right.
But then those get tricky morale and morally. So it's like, yeah, I get it. This, we don't need to talk about this, but like
we can.
But
Why
what
not?
I'm getting at is with zoos, I'm like, what else are you going to do with these animals? You say I wish the lines got
They're
out
just
there, but it's
not
like,
treated
where do the
well.
lines go? But where
No, but-
where do they go?
But that's like saying, hey,
And I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong in this.
But
So.
it's not even just that. It's also like they're treated horribly, and they're there for people's enjoyment to see, because we think we should be able to see tigers in every major city, and that just seems ridiculous to me.
I get that.
And in what like environment and situation are they living in? There should be no tiger in Toronto. It's freezing here. Like it's immoral, and they're not treated properly.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so that's just where I stand. And they look sad. They look depressed. Like
I agree with all of that.
Marineland, like all the whales, like they're treated terribly too. It's just all so sad.
I saw Blackfish. I know. I got you.
And it's just like, for what? For what?
I understand all of this, and I agree with it, but it's like the same thing with like overpopulation. What is the easy solution for this?
No, listen,
because
and
we're
I'm
eating
not
up
saying-
all of, we as humans eat up their environment. So it's
okay,
like, what,
okay, but-
what now what happens?
But this isn't, but zoos are not capturing animals because of overpopulation and we've run out of space. They're capturing these animals
For
from
enjoyment.
the wild. So for our enjoyment. It's just like, give me a break. Just because you want something doesn't mean you should have something. And this
I
is
agree.
something no one should have. Sorry
Yes.
about it.
I just don't think there's an easy solution. But I
Stop doing it. I think
okay,
that
but
might
then
be a
what? So great. So
solution.
then you eat into the rainforest where all these animals lived. What happens
Yeah.
to those animals? You just let them die?
What do you mean? Like now?
Yeah, like say over the
Animal
next 10 years.
sanctuaries. Animal sanctuaries.
What animal sanctuaries?
Well, they should be released into like environments where they would excel and where they would.
I'm arguing a fact I am zero educated on. So
Oh, I'm just like, what are you talking about? Also, it's like, oh my God, these stupid lions. I want my home in the middle of the rainforest so I can have like,
I agree. I don't agree with
you know.
zoos.
yeah. But also,
at
here's the
all.
thing. I want to just point this out. I'm also not a parent. And, I remember, my nephew coming to stay with me and being like, he should eat more vegetables. And then he was at my house for 3 hours and it was like grilled cheese and chips. So, I mean, I get it. But I just, even as a kid, was like, I do not like zoos. I just don't like them.
Jen's walking the line with me. She's just walking that line just a little
Listen,
bit.
I agree. I'm not saying they're all terrible. I'm just saying in general, as a kid and as an adult, going to zoos, I looked around and went, this looks brutal.
Yes.
This doesn't look great. That's
Not
just
me.
me.
As a kid, I was
Everyone-
watching Kevin Johnson climb into the alligator pit and being like, teachers, I don't know what's going on here, but he's in the alligator pit.
But there-
and we were
it's-
like, oh,
yeah.
well, we got to get on the bus and go back home now because Kevin Johnson jumped into the alligator pit.
Exactly. It's
was-
just like, I don't like it. It makes me sad. Even as a kid, it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see dogs tied up outside of stores and just strangers can pet them and talk to them and poke at them and do whatever. It makes me just sad. Okay.
And I'm over here just wondering what happened to Kevin Johnson because I don't remember. That's a kid I don't
Did
know.
he get out of the pit?
He did get out of the
Also,
pit. I watched him.
Can we just talk about those kids that had to ruin the field trip? It's like, what did you need? What did you need? Like, I remember going to New York and everyone's like, we got to find weed. And I was like, we're in New York. Can't we just bask in that? We all now need to go find weed in New York. We're from
Oh, no. This was a school
Elliston.
trip where I was like, I think we were in probably grade 4, maybe. Or maybe that was your trip in grade 4 to New York and the kids were already out for weed. I don't know.
I just, I mean, there's so many, I mean, I know there's bigger issues in the world than zoos. We can move past it. I just remember, and then I remember going to African Lion Safari, which was like in Orangeville or something. Like,
I
give
know
me
the
a
one you're talking
break.
about. Yeah.
And I hated it. As a kid in the school trip, I cried. I saw a dead baby monkey. I was not having it. And let me tell you, I made sure everyone knew I was not having it.
Yeah. I believe
Yeah,
that. That Stacey goes, and believe me, I was letting everybody know what I was thinking.
And believe me, it is a lonely life over here. Okay?
But I just love that
me
that
and my
was-
flyby, okay?
That you had that at the ready is hilarious.
Of course, my Peloton's just over there. I had to give myself a little flyby in the list.
That's sick. Let's talk about your pop culture news that you've got.
Okay. So you know how Alec Baldwin's wife, Hillary,
You'd say that, but I
claimed.
don't know.
So for many, many years, she said she was Spanish, and that is categorically untrue. Her parents are like from Boston. She's from Boston, and so she called herself like Hilaria, and then like spoke. Yeah, and Alec Baldwin. Anyways, it's since come out that she's not that at all, and that's fake. And then she just had a baby, and she has like her and Alec Baldwin had like 5 kids. She just had her 5th kid with Alec Baldwin, and then now she just they just welcomed a 6th baby. She just had a baby 5 months ago, and then obviously with a surrogate, although they're not talking about it. It's like clearly a surrogate. Wow. And as Barbara says, they just had their 84th child. So now they have 6 kids.
The Baldwins are just populating like America. 6
kids. It's so wild. But anyways.
Yeah. No, but that's
so
crazy.
much.
But to me, like the part of that story that bugs me the most is why would you identify as Spanish? Like, I don't even understand the day you wake up and go, you know what?
I know.
Caliente. I'm Spanish. Like, let's fucking rock.
No, but seriously. I'm pulling up the story now so I can like get it all. Yeah, hold on a second. Katherine Heigl's trying to come back. I
hope so. She's great.
Katherine Heigl is like notoriously not great, actually, and notoriously just like so rude and so mean.
Oh no, I hate hearing that about people. I mean, like I get it. It's like it's a hard work environment and all that kind of stuff because they put you through crazy hours of days, and it is really draining and taxing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, when I hear people on set are just terrible to everyone, I'm like, oh, that just breaks my heart. It's like a job that so many people are striving to do.
It's so true. It's like,
oh, Melissa is not happy about Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, people do not like Katherine Heigl. I will say this, like when you are on set, okay, first of all, this might be, and I'm not saying I'm a good actor. I will even say I'm not. I play myself, end of sentence, okay? But being an actor is easy. Like there are parts of it that you have to get up really early. They're really, really long hours. Like the idea of fame is very demanding, but the act of the job, like, you are pampered. If you are a celebrity, if you are on a major television show, like you have a trailer, there is food brought to you. If you have specifications on that food, you are accommodated. You get your hair and makeup done.
On paper, it all sounds extremely easy, but you and I have both been there where it's like the days are taxing. And I know that sounds so whatever, but like it's not easy. It's not as easy as people would think and go, oh, cool. So you get to be in front of a camera and then there's a craft table and you get your own trailer. It's like the days are, and I haven't even been on, I mean, like I've been on a few series, that's it. But it's like,
the days are unbelievably long. Like I remember the last show I was on set a full day and was not really, I was used, I believe not at all. And I had 4 or 5 naps, hours long, just in a trailer.
I can't do that.
But what I'm saying to you is like, we have had just horrible experiences and still maintained respect and was cordial. I'm saying if you're a massive celebrity,
sure,
like you are being accommodated. There's no reason for you to be rude. There's just really not.
Yeah, I'm a bit of like, yes. If there are people out there that are just rude all the time and they're just terrible to everyone, like I'm like, oh, that sucks. That's too bad. And then I can't like that person as much anymore. But it's like,
I think that's a big thing for Canadians.
But catching like the Tom Cruise thing, I'm like, okay, this guy's had a career forever. No one's ever talked about him being crazy, and then he gets caught one time yelling. I'm like, well, this could be whatever.
First of all, Jason, people have only talked about Tom Cruise being crazy. He is a Scientologist.
Well, they talk about crazy Scientologist, but they don't talk about like he's been rude to people on set or been horrible to work with. Actually, people that work with him say he's awesome to work with.
Oh, do they? Because I heard that and that sounded terrible. First of all, because you're a massive celebrity doesn't mean you get to speak to anybody like that. That's wild.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we've all had days where maybe we've like, it's weird because you're in this, like, you're under this magnifying glass where it's like we all have had people like when I worked an office job, maybe you had somebody blow up in a boardroom and you're like, wow,
Sure.
like if they were a celebrity, then that's the end because that's what's going to get out there. But it's like now Terry comes in the next day and it's like, oh my God, I really fucking like lost it yesterday in that boardroom, but I don't know what the fuck happened to me.
I want to be clear. I think there's a fine line between someone being like Mike Myers gets a really bad rap. Like you can't make eye contact with him. You can't talk to him, things like that. But then it's like, then you also hear that he really fought for like Bohemian Rhapsody to be used and was like unwavering.
Sure. The Mark Maron podcast really humanized him again a little bit, which was weird.
Because there's a fine line of someone like, if you're an actor and you're doing a really intense scene and someone's just kind of like fucking around in your sight line eating a sandwich, it's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, please give me a break.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But just being like rude to people who are trying to do their job, like that's what I'm talking about.
I agree with you.
You're being catered to. Like there's no reason for you to like treat a PA like they're beneath you when they're bringing you your lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. The one thing that really humanized Mike Myers for me afterwards, because we've got people that have worked with him, and there is like the I don't want to talk too much about him, but like
who?
Mike Myers. But then when he was on WTF and he was like, oh man, like I forget if it was Universal or Paramount, whatever company's like, here's millions of dollars for your idea. And all of a sudden he goes, I am a human. Like now I've got $10 million and they're like, you're responsible to make this funny. And I'm like, that's pressure cooker to be like, I'm going to be
sure.
I have to make this perfect. So I'm not sticking up for him because I'm like, again, I'm on your side of like, don't go on set and just be a dick to everybody. But I'm like,
every
also
situation is different. It's like, what are you viewing it as? Are you like, I mean, we've written shows together and I'm like, Jason, I don't like that. Like there are creative conversations that we have. What?
We've been in situations before and I'm like, Jason, I don't like that. But like
we've been working scenes together, but like that's the difference. Like you have been very frustrated with me and vice versa, where we're in scenes and we're just like, that's not, that's not it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that we're being like
mean to each other.
Yeah, we're like creatively having a conversation.
Yeah.
But also this is a huge point, in an office, or I think in many situations, if a man freaks out, he's passionate, and then if that happens to a woman, she's crazy. And absolutely,
that comment's crazy.
It is really crazy as an actor where women are always asked their height, always asked, because they usually either like hire the man, the lead first, and they have to make sure that you're shorter than them.
Yeah, or at least not towering over them or whatever.
Yeah, which kind of sucks. Although apparently for Dawson's
This is all
Creek,
allegedly.
But apparently for Dawson's Creek, allegedly, they hired Katie Holmes first, and then they casted men around her. So she was tall, and that's why we got Joshua Jackson. Huge news, by the way, on TikTok.
Okay.
John Mayer's on there.
Okay.
John Mayer's made it to TikTok. Okay, so he's on there. So maybe I'll end up on his FYP. I heard he's wanting to settle down, settle down with a woman and have some kids.
Hasn't he already tried to settle down with a couple of women?
I mean, yeah.
But that is like, there's something about that too. Imagine like, because he has a beautiful voice.
Beautiful.
Imagine dating somebody that actually has a beautiful voice, and then they're like singing in the kitchen. You're just like, wow, this is pretty cool.
You know that we've asked our friend Jay McCarroll, who I think is just a very, I like his face, like his body.
He's the whole package. We all know him. Jay McCarroll, whole package. Smart, musical, funny. Like, I don't know what else there is.
If he were to say, Stacey, what do you want for Christmas? I just close my eyes and go like this. Kiss. He's gorgeous. And I remember we were on tour once and I was like, hey, so like when you're like dating someone, do you ever just like wake them up playing the piano? And he was like, no, what am I, a psychopath? And I was like, okay, noted. Noted.
You're a fucking psychopath.
You're crazy. Although I have to say, if I was woken up by someone, okay, I will tell you this. Even if I was with John Mayer and I was sleeping and he's on the edge of the bed playing guitar, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing?
It's your birthday though. Yeah.
Not-
for my
no.
birthday, that jar goes into the fucking fireplace.
It's my birthday, so whatever skill you think you have, you don't have that today. Okay? You don't have that. Thank you.
Megan had a boyfriend woke her up once by singing. It was a 0 out of 10. Awful.
Do not recommend. Yeah. Okay, first of all, Elizabeth says she knows John Mayer's sister. So don't say anything. I don't want to come across as a weirdo. Let me do that. Let me do that myself. Let me meet him and ruin it myself. Let me overshare. Give me the opportunity to
Unless you can
ruin
get him on the
everything.
podcast. If you can get him on this podcast, bring him on over.
Do you know that Dave Chappelle says John Mayer is one of the funniest people he knows? Isn't that crazy?
He was like, did I tell you this? Dave Chappelle wants to do our podcast. I forgot to tell you that.
First of all, if Dave Chappelle wanted to do our podcast, I think you and I would say no because we'd be so scared. We'd be like, what do we talk to him about?
Oh no, I'd bring Dave Chappelle on because
No,
I also
Dave
feel
Chappelle
like
on, but I'm just saying we would be like,
I mean,
hey.
in awe of a god for sure, but at the same time,
Yeah.
be like, he's gonna be like I don't know. He would care. He would tell. He would just start talking and like go off, and he'd be like, great. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
I will say that I heard allegedly that John Mayer for his birthday once did like an improvised TED talk and had like his friends watch. And I need to know if that's real because that will determine a lot of things for me.
Who watched your TED talk? Who watched your what?
You
TikTok?
do not listen to me. This is strike 2. I said John Mayer.
Where was strike 1? When did I get strike 1?
When we said, hi, welcome to the regulars. Okay. Every day.
Okay.
No. So I heard allegedly that
Okay.
John Mayer for his birthday
Yeah.
did a fake TED talk and people gave him suggestions and he improvised. And
okay.
yeah,
I've seen people do that before, but it wasn't him.
really.
John's TED talk? No, thank you.
Yeah. I'm just wondering what it entailed, or if it's even real.
I'm sure it's like that's something that you would. I don't know. I think that's fine, like, as long as you do it as like a fun, dumb game, and you're like, oh, guys, let's. I'll talk about
Yeah.
something. I mean, you know what? Where you would see that an improv class, 100%.
Sure, but the problem is when you take the improv class into a fun time, like a party, and
Sure.
that's
Well, we
but
know those
anyways, I'm
people.
interesting. Yeah.
By the way, Voodoo came in on my birthday. Whoa.
You better leave me straight fossilized on my bed. Jan also says this TED Talk news is straight up you. And I agree. Yeah, so anyways, that's my news. But John Mayer is on TikTok, which is, I'm just saying.
Get on there.
I am
I don't know
on
what
there.
that means. I know.
I started TikToking last night. I'm getting I'm not getting just the 100 views I was getting. I'm getting into the thousands. So,
You're also hitting me up, throwing some old PDs my way, which is always appreciated.
PDUSA has some new tracks on TikTok. Also, Rusty Ranks Beers went live yesterday on TikTok, and and I joined his live to check it out, obviously for the regulars. And I was doing intel, and he was like, "Yeah, man, just doing some dishes because my roommates always say I never do them. So as you can see here, I'm doing some dishes. Just gonna finish up the dishes here, and I'll get to some of your questions." And I was like, "This is incredible."
I rank these dishes, doing dishes, 1 out of 10.
He
America's loving the dishes.
He just did a new rank, which I think it was like Budweiser Platinum or something, and he got so lit up. He was like tilted. He was fully he's like, "Hey you guys, so I'm gonna tell you this stuff is a real deal." He got so drunk he forgot to rate the beers. He was hammered by 8 of them.
I wonder what the hell goes on too, because like we're in a world now where like there's just so much content and it's all out there, and it's like, does Budweiser go, this person is like, we could send this people stop and desist because like you're advertising our beer in a terrible way where it's like you just get hammered or
you
whatever.
mean a cease and desist?
What did I say? Stop it. Did I say stop
and assist? Stop and assist.
Cease and desist.
He is getting he's getting so wasted on these beer, and it's just too much beer. I'm getting concerned for our pal Rusty.
Stop and desist.
Yeah,
I'm killing it.
Stop and desist.
We got one once because I worked at a small ad agency where we made a commercial and put it out online. It was nuts.
What did you do?
I'm sure I've told this story before, but like I worked at a small ad agency where one of the biggest beer manufacturers in Canada, Molson Canadian.
I love that. Sponsor
They were
us.
like, so what happens in the ad agency world is they go, great, we're not using this ad agency anymore. We're letting everybody know. So we're creating a short list and then we're going to pick our new ad agency, and everyone pitches and they're like, oh my God, we're going to get Molson Canadian. I worked at this very tiny ad agency with a man that was like genius, but nuts.
Office
and
rocker.
yeah. And he's like, we're going to get on this. And the short list had already been picked. It was like 3 major ad agencies.
Okay.
But he's like, no, we're getting on this. So we made a commercial. This is before I was an actor.
Sure.
He put me in it. I was the star of this commercial.
This
it was
smells
a nuts commercial.
so illegal. Out the gate, it would have been like, this is not a good
Oh, it was
call.
more than just illegal. We were driving around Bay Street in the middle of the day, like 4 p.m. when it's
Giving
packed.
people beers.
No. He's like chasing me on this bike, and they had a full setup on this truck that was illegal, and I'm just chasing him on the bike because it was like, we did a whole commercial. You have to get past this. When you book a commercial in Canada, you have to get past I forget what they're called, but like rules and regulations board or whatever. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. They have a different name, but
do you know what I mean? Like
rules and regulation board.
So the long weekend's coming up, May 2-4, which is huge in Canada.
Patrick,
so we waited till
and assist.
Chase and assist. But we waited until Friday so everyone's gone for the long weekend for sure, to hand it in quickly, buy a spot in all of Ontario and all of Quebec, so it was super cheap.
Okay,
and then,
you're starting to lose me. Okay.
So we put it to these people that have to go, check mark, you're okay to put this on air. We did it on a Friday before a long weekend because my boss, who was crazy, goes, you know what, by that time it'll just be like the interns and whatever there. So we'll just push it through with a fake number because you have to have this number first, and we'll get it pushed through for the weekend. And then he emailed the heads of Molson Canadian and said, he's like, I know where they are. They're at their cottage. Watch at this time on David Letterman on Friday night. Watch David Letterman. And they came out. And then Monday morning, we had a chase and assist show up at our doorstep.
Because he put the commercial. Good?
It was terrible. It was the worst thing ever. You know what the commercial was? I'll tell you. And it was a 60-second spot. It was a long spot.
That's too long.
It's a guy that it's a true story of a Canadian who fought City Hall and won. Like he was like he was the first guy to go, look, I'm a bike carrier. My food is my fuel. So that's an expense. That's a legal expense. So I get to write this off of my taxes. So it's this guy like biking around the city being like, I need to beat City Hall. And then
that
he
was
showed
played
me
by you.
Yes. And I'm eating a sub at one point. I'm like, writing it down and being like, check mark, and going, yeah. And like, that's the commercial. And then it shows me at the bar ending like at a bar being like, I beat City Hall, and like drinking a beer. And it was,
first
Canadian was like, get out of here.
We have a petit Jason riding his bike.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if you can. It can't be anywhere. Like Jan's like, can we get this commercial? This was so long ago. This is before I filmed my actual first commercial.
Barbara says, of course, Jason would be in a commercial where he's eating a sub and fighting City Hall, and absolutely.
They're like, you want the spit bucket? This was one of the first times I learned what that was,
you
and
don't
I was
need
like,
that.
And I did not. And then I realized,
yeah,
I do. Like we did so many shots that I'd probably eaten like 2 footlongs by that point. I'm like, okay, maybe I do need.
Well, that's not your worst day. Amazing. That's not the worst. Give me a break. Oh no, Jason had 2 footlong. Give me a break.
I wonder if I have that commercial anywhere, because that would be insane.
I hope that you can find it. You must be able to.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, let's not look now because the table's shaking like crazy. Now, again, just for logistical purposes, I have told Jason to get a webcam, and again, he wants to take it the hard road. I know you have a ring light. Is it even on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Is it better without the ring light?
Absolutely not.
Feeling good. It's dark out today. It's dark out today here. We're going to rain today. We got rain today.
That's exciting. I always loved it when it rained in LA because it just felt different. You know?
It does.
Yeah.
Good thing we got the zoo, and when we did, whew.
Yeah, thank God you fit in the zoo. I can't. I'm sorry. Is that offensive to you?
No, was what offensive to me? Nothing you said was, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, so here's a ridiculous story that I just screenshot. I don't know why it made me laugh so hard. Tim Allen says he was lost. He was lost before serving time in prison on cocaine charges in his 20s. He was
That's
lost.
weird because I've looked this up literally like this week. That's weird because I read a story about that. That wasn't the same story because I was going through like old celebrities and like people that got their own shows and stuff like that. And the route that Tim Allen took, it's like you're a stand-up, went to jail, cokehead, just like going crazy. And they're like,
totally.
"Hey man, do you want a show?" Oh, yes, I do. Like that's
well, first
crazy.
of all, he went to jail in his 20s and then became a stand-up. It is kind of wild to think, first of all, that Michael Keaton was a stand-up. That's unbelievable to me.
Well, he started in comedy before, like
I know, but I'm just saying it's crazy. And then Tim Allen being a stand-up, and he was just like in that Comedy Store documentary where he's like artistically explaining the like that's got him Home Improvement. I was like, what?
Well, that was in his stand. You're right. That was in his stand-up. So they kind of were like, "Great, can we just build a character?" It's the same with like Everybody Loves Raymond and Seinfeld. It's like, cool, your stand-up leads towards this narrative stuff. So like, can we just?
Also, sorry, Patrick, our lovely friend Patrick is fully calling me out. He's like, the zoo, I can't. I think it was the delivery that was offensive. Me just barfing in my mouth. The zoo. No, it is sort of wild where Tim Allen's like, so then I started grunting on stage and I noticed a lot of men responded to that.
Yes.
They really enjoyed that. So then I thought, maybe we got something here in the kitchen. We started cooking it, more grunts. I get my own pilot.
It was the 80s and the 90s where catchphrases were huge. Like Bart Simpson, everyone's like, "Yeah, let's don't have a cow man." He's like, "I got mine," and there's no words to it even. I just go on stage and go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa."
Like, how did he sell that show? He's like, when you get into the shed and you hold a hammer and you're like, whoa, whoa. And then you hit with the hammer and you're like, whoa. And everyone's like, great,
First
that's the
man
show.
builds fire. Whoa, 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 whoa. Then they find tools. Whoa, 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 whoa. Then they see women. Whoa. Just turns into a terrible French
10
man impression.
seasons on ABC.
Yeah, he's doing better than us. Killing us, man.
Tim Allen is, when people are like so stupid, it's like he's so rich. It's like Kevin James. Like he just became everyone's like.
He's got a new show out.
Oh God. It should just be called, I Got a Thin Wife. That's just what it should be called. Because they're always like, Kevin. And he's like, what? Women. And everyone's like, I can't. And listen, I loved Home Improvement. I loved it.
You were a JT, huh? You're all down with that?
Big time JT fan, JTT. You know me, and huge fan. Although he stopped, acting, and so maybe he was just over it.
Maybe, yeah. But then there was
JTT.
yeah.
What?
Oh, I can't remember now. There was something else I wanted to bring up about that whole grunting thing, but I forget what it is now too.
Well, it's just kind of crazy because like when you try and pitch a show, everyone's like, what's it about? What's the demographic? Like where does it go? And it's like Home Improvement is about nothing.
Yeah.
Are you even listening to me? What are you reading?
Yes, but it's similar in nature. It's like that was about nothing, and this goes into your Kevin James thing. Kevin
that new show with Annie Francis, I think, from Schitt's Creek. She's in it, or it's a short film at least. Is it a show or a short film?
It's a TV show, but I didn't know that she was in it. It just bothered me because like when you you're like, great, I've got this premise, we're gonna write the script up, and then the show comes out, and you're like, well, no, I can't do it. That was mine. I found out about that one like a year ago, and was like, oh god, well, there goes my.
You wanted to write Kevin Can Fuck Himself?
No, but I was writing a show where it was from the point of view of the underdog on one of these sitcoms where it was like, oh shit, like but this one is about something much more powerful. It's like, it's coming from it's like you said, the gorgeous wife with Kevin James is a thing. And she's like, Kevin, go fuck himself. And I'm like, oh, well, that's much better. obviously, because there's a much
Yeah.
stronger point of view to it.
Kevin James, so rich, just so rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
He was the replacement for Chris Farley in all those Adam Sandler movies, and I thought that was kind of weird. But
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
well, I think so, because in Grown Ups, it's like Adam Sandler's like, here's all of our friends from that era of Saturday Night Live. It's like David Spade, Chris Rock, and we're gonna put in Kevin James, the overweight guy with
in Grown-Ups.
energy.
Yeah.
And then they did 2 movies of that, and it was like, oh man.
Yeah, but I mean, this was years and years and years and years after Chris Farley's death. They probably weren't like, what are we going to do with this grown-up script?
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Well, wait
Yeah,
till the man appears. Kevin James is I live and breathe.
Yeah, I don't
Get
mean
in
like
here.
I don't mean like they were like, oh, it's like the Fatty Arbuckle sort of documentary
Right.
or anything. But like,
Man, grown-ups. I just before, as we're ending here, I also want to talk about this. So Bachelor in Paradise is coming to Canada and is currently casting. Yeah. And right before the pod, I was seeing in the Discord, people were like, I know Jenny was thinking of applying, and people were joking that I should apply. Now, we don't want McGonagall in Paradise. And as much as I would love to, I want to be the bartender. I want to pour the drinks. I want to be like,
maybe this
what's
is where we
going
can
on?
pitch that we're the people like the shamans that are like, oh, you're coming to this challenge and we could do our shaman thing or whatever it is.
This is our plea. Hi. So if you're from the Bachelor in Paradise Canada crew, we want to be your bartenders. We want to make the drinks. We want to hear all the drama. We want them coming to us, okay, on the beach, and we give them advice. We get them maybe in a bit of trouble.
Look, you can have your host, but maybe we're the ones that when they come to a challenge, we'll set all the challenges
We'll
up.
set it all up personally.
Will there be a paint lounge where Stacey's going to be very upset the whole episode?
Yes, of
100%.
We should do the after show. So everyone, Jan says I would pay $1,000 to see one episode of Stacey in Paradise just screaming down the water slide.
Did you hear that, Bachelor in Paradise? Add $1,000 to your budget right now.
Right now, I don't want to be rude to you guys because you don't know us, but you not hiring us is insanity. It would be insane to not hire us.
If history was written correctly, it would be one of the biggest heirs this millennial.
This millennial. You honestly, you want us there. Okay. Jason and I are not good with elements. Okay. We're going to have thoughts about it.
Is there going to be a hot tub party? You got it.
Yeah. And we're going to come by and be like, everyone doing sunscreen and stuff. Okay.
Is there any ducks in here? Anything going on underneath the water? Stop it.
Do we have any duck water stuff? Okay. We putting any labels on anything we're thinking? Huh? Oh my God. I want to serve drinks. I want to get the juice. I want to make out with some of the crew.
Well, maybe Amanda's right. Maybe we should just do an after show.
We for sure are doing an after show. There's no question about it. There is not a single question in my mind about it.
We also haven't brought up, because this is the first day we were talking since The Bachelor, and since the news, or maybe it was already out on Monday, we just didn't talk about it.
What?
The replacement for Chris Harrison is there. He's there. If they say it's temporary, which I'm like, there's no way it's temporary. What are you going to push that guy away eventually and bring back the guy who stuck up for some sort of racist?
It's sort of unbelievable. I mean, the Bachelor franchise is so incredibly corrupt from the inner workings out. It's just like a corrupted.
But we will work for you, though. We will work for you.
Oh, you think they're going to be offended because we say they're corrupt? Oh, baby, they were born on corruption. They'll die in corruption. Hire us. We're giving you numbers like $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay? Give us something. We just want to be able to buy Jason a webcam.
Yeah, you don't like this one? This one's straight from my laptop.
Right. So you see what we're working with here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to buy some fun new blouses. That's just what I kind of want.
Well, I think you want us to compliment you on your new blouse today.
It's not new.
I did before the pod, and
You
somebody even did earlier on in the pod.
Oh, they did?
Really
I
liked
missed the
it.
compliment. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, it's a very puffy sweater. In person, it's a lot. But I honestly think Bachelor in Paradise, if you are looking for after show hosts, but look no further.
We're here.
we're here. I think they're filming in BC. So that means like the crew is going to be like some lumberjacks and beards, which
Sure. Every PA on there is going to be dateable.
Okay, Patrick is also calling me out for trying to sell my clothes on Poshmark. So he keeps me humble. See, Jameson's down for it. I love the look. Very warm for this spring-like day.
I love the look of Jameson's thumbnail there.
What is
Old
it?
gangster in a tiny jail or something? What's going on here?
Old gangster in a tiny jail. The Jason DeRoss
that's a
story.
television. This is, It's just got little man syndrome.
I don't think you do.
You don't think I can rob a bank? I can rob a bank. You don't think I'm dumb enough to rob a bank?
I know you're doing a joke because like that's your one character you do, but like when you get mad, that is what it sounds like. And it's like you so rarely get mad. I don't
think that I've ever been that mad. Well, I don't think so.
Jason, there was a time where you were yelling. Now you were.
We're talking about you. You're talking about the one. I know exactly where I was standing and what the conversation.
I know, but
bringing up.
I remember putting the phone down and I was just like, I have to let him go. I have to let him yell. He's got to get it out.
One time.
But people are saying, so I'm hearing that this is going to shoot in BC. Jason and I are willing to travel.
To BC, no problem.
No problem. We are happy to go.
We'll go to the Victoria Island. We'll go to Vancouver, wherever you want us to go.
Here's my thing that I wish we could start seeing is on Bachelor in Paradise. The thing is, it's like you see all these like super buff guys and like these super thin women. And it's like, I want a mix up. I want like beautiful. I want like dad bods. I want like curvy women. I want like, because if I was on Bachelor in Paradise and everyone's running towards the water, you best believe it's towel on till we feel a little water on the feet.
Get in the hot tub, turn the jets on, then people can come in the room. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You think you're gonna see me with my huge boobs just in a bikini throwing a football?
You know what though? But like, how exciting would it be to help normalize what the fuck's going on in actuality? To be like, just do it, but like, we'll all wear one pieces. We'll have a good time. We'll be like, fuck everybody, man.
If you don't think I'm wearing a massive hat to avoid sunburn, you're nuts.
There's a difference in that. Look, we get it. There's health issues involved with that, but that's different.
Different bodies. See, Shayla just said it. Different bodies would be nice. 1,000%. And
Yeah.
I love a dad bod. Give me it. Love it. Want it.
During our off time while we're shooting that, I am going to be shooting where I'm searching for a Sasquatch in the middle of the forest in BC.
See, Jason, this is when we'll have conversations in the hotel where I'm like, listen, I'm not saying you can't have creative thoughts. I need you to run by them with me so that I can be like, don't even bring that up as a joke.
No, see, but they fund these things. There is a show where it's like, we're going to find a Sasquatch.
Jason,
we all know the ending of this. You're not going to find that Sasquatch, and they still
God.
they still put it on.
You know what you would do is you'd be like, hey, do you think they would do this as a fun bit? And I'd be like, let's not say anything. Let's just like, we're very lucky to be here. And then you'd go up to the producers and be like, what are you going to do? Pay Stacey and I to go find some Bigfoot? you guys going to pay us to do that? That'd be crazy. Do you guys think that'd be crazy?
I was just Googling. Did you guys hear the legend actually started about 3 miles north of here?
The legend started.
I wonder if it is real though. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes don't you just wonder if it is real? It'd be pretty cool to like find out if that was actually. What if somebody actually caught something on tape? Holy shit! Would that would be like War of the Worlds big? Like everybody would be like, holy fuck! We tune into that. Is that real or is it not real? But imagine if it was real. Holy fuck!
Holy fuck!
Do you know that there is like about 17 hectares of land that has been untapped?
I can vividly see me leaving to go get lunch or something and coming back with a plate and you saying shit like that and me having to grab your arm.
You come back and be like, where's Jason? Oh, we sent him off on he's got a special assignment
Doubt
right
it. Someone during break would come up to me and be like, so like, how long have you known Jason for? I'd be like, oh my God, over 10 years? Yeah. So was he talking about Bigfoot? Yeah. Too long? Yeah.
Hey, we guys talking about Bigfoot? Because holy crap. Bigfoot,
Jason,
Sasquatch, they're not the same thing.
They're going to need you in wardrobe?
Oh, cool. Am I getting outfitted with stuff to go hunt in the rainforest?
No, your Old Navy swimsuit
Temperate forest? Okay, great.
The Old Navy swimsuit came in, so we're gonna
Yeah.
need you to put that on. Oh God, I just imagine listening back to this podcast and just listening to me cackle like a witch who's like sucking in sand, just like. Cindy, she says, swimsuits suck in general. I hate shopping for them. I will give you one tip. I have found so much success on ModCloth. I love their swimsuits. I found a really amazing two-piece that fits the gals. I love a high-waisted bottom. And
Didn't you
was
put it
super
out there
affordable.
on? You put it in. I can't remember where you put it out, but I think you put it out to the world, didn't you? At one point.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, before I went on my my cabin vacay. But Old Navy, yeah, Jan just said Old Navy is great too. I would say Old Navy and ModCloth, I think, are two of the best places to get swimsuits. Old Navy's more affordable, and I find that it's really, really great quality. ModCloth's pricier, but I will tell you, like, it's such good quality. And again, I like a suit that can hold the gals and still be fashionable. Because when you have big boobs and you're shopping for a swimsuit, it's like, here's a black suit, you know? And you're like, okay, you know? You get it, Jay.
Well, I do,
anyway.
because Jen mentioned earlier, I'd love to see Duras in a one piece, and I'm like, that's been my dream my whole life, is to find one of
I
those
know.
like old timey, you know, those guys that ride around on penny farthers and have like the mustaches like this and they're
Jason,
bald.
we're
I'm
trying
like,
to be cool, and you're coming in with the freaking term penny farther?
isn't that what they're called? Those big bikes?
Jason, I don't know. I'm a woman of the future, okay?
Oh no, I'm from the past. So like those were like the number one form of transportation when I was a
Patrick
child.
said his Grindr profile says high-waisted bottom. I love that. That's nice. That's nice. All right, so we will be back on Friday. We will be having, we haven't done a cocktail in a while. Maybe we'll do a cocktail or something.
I better go get some. What's the basis of it? Are we doing a rum, a whiskey, a vodka, gin? What are we throwing in
You
here?
know, I'm
I'll go
a
get it
gin
today.
gal. I love gin, and
got
I feel like
gin.
if we are gonna drink in the afternoon, it should probably be gin.
Morning, 9:30, no problem. Gin, yeah, okay, great.
We'll do something with gin. We will see you all on Friday. We have been saying that we want to talk. Sorry, I'm like have the hiccups now. Talking about
We'll
in
be
and of
Sans
itself.
Casual Friday. We'll be Sans
We'll be-
Mr. Casual
yes.
Friday.
Casual Friday will not be with us. He will be greatly missed. But we will have a cocktail in his honor and get done on the Friday. So we adore you all so much. If you like this episode, please give us a like. It's always nice. And if you haven't subscribed yet, give us a little subscribe. And to our listeners, you can check us out at youtube.com/theregulars if you ever want to see what's going on.
Hell yeah.
Or join the chat if you haven't already. It's quite the time. So we will see you all on Friday. Anything else you want to say, Jay?
Can't wait to Friday. Gonna have some gin.
Can't wait till Friday. Gonna get some gin. Bye.